Yeah. Hello, everybody. I've already used my upper register time today, so I can't do any more. So I'm gonna be on my lower register for this video. It's day 1.285, and you probably looks like I'm coming to you from a night scope, but it's late and whatnot. But I felt the need to make another video today. Just some odds and ends as part of this transition, as this is my transition vlog. So this might be more of a summer camp flashlight talk. If I was clever, I would have done that. So we'll just imagine that we're talking by flashlight at summer camp. My daughter, my sister, when she was younger, there was a summer that we went and visited some folks in Arkansas, I believe, some family members. And she went away for like a week at a girls' summer camp, and I was so jealous of her. And then when she got back, she talked about, every night they talked about things. And let me adjust camera here. Things girls do. It's just cool. But I will always just remember that, there were a lot of things that I felt like my sister got that I didn't get. And obviously, I mean, in the 70s, when I asked my mother at one point about, why was my sister's room so decorated and she had a canopy bed. Oh my gosh. She had a canopy bed and a dresser and a vanity and, everything was girly. And my room was Spartan. My room was four empty walls, a floor, and a ceiling. It was white. There was nothing. There was no decorations. There was no. I don't know. Very sparse. And not to complain about how I was raised, but I felt like, again, my sister always had that I didn't have. And again, it would make sense. I'm looking for my little kitty cat. Hi. You gonna come sit with me, or are you done with me? She's exploring. But that's not what I was going to talk about, but I guess I am going to talk about it now. Growing up. And maybe there's still time for me to capture some of that, somewhat. What do you think? She's not interested. Maybe I can have a canopy bed. Who knows? In some ways, I've never had that ability to kind of do what I want to do, I've never had that ability to decorate, the way stereotypical, this house needs a woman's touch type shit. What you see is what you get. I'm still today I'm sparse. What the hell, right? Most of my furniture are hand-me-downs, and I haven't had the opportunity yet. To go shopping for furniture that I like, and maybe that's on the horizon. But I found myself tonight thinking a little bit about the future and what might be coming up next, and concerned a little bit. To say we don't know what the future holds is so common. It's true. It's trite. But we don't know what the future holds, and I don't know what's going to happen. And the last couple days has been a whirlwind over my daughter, who told me 3 days ago, she was gender fluid. And then I've been doing a lot of research and educating and talking with people and networking and learning. And today I asked her, how are things going in general? And I wanted to know how things were, and, was she comfortable? Again, kind of a status update. And she looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean, I was like, well, shit, thank goodness. I'll feel like an idiot. I'd rather feel like an idiot than my daughter suffer. So maybe from this I've learned to be aware and watch and listen and observe. And the 3 words that I came across were insistence, persistence, and consistence. To be insistent somewhat on requesting a certain, a certain name or pronouns, and then consistent in it over a period of time. Over a duration of time, so it's not something that's contemporary or for the moment. And then persistent in pushing through adversity and facing the challenge of it to succeed. And, that was something that kind of stuck out in my mind today about, I kind of assumed persistence was over time, but it's not giving up over time. It's facing the challenge. And one of the things that one of the kind folks on Facebook had sent me to a website that listed 5 things parents can do for gender fluid or gender expansive children. And among them was things like be supportive, provide an environment, listen, let them dress themselves, let them pick out their stuff, how they want to decorate their room, how they, again, dress them, dress as in not like put on their clothes, but the clothes choices that they make and everything. But I don't know. I'll count my blessings if this was just a, hey, I'm young and sowing and finding out who and what I am. I'd much rather have her do that than be miserable or face the adversity, which, okay, we're back to that idea of persistence. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The idea of being realistic is to, okay, my child is going to be gender expressive or exploring, but to not candy coat how people might react to them, and to prepare them for those moments when they get challenged, they face obstacles, to prepare them to educate and to be kind of steadfast, to be non-confrontational, but to stand up. And there's a lot to it, and so maybe there's a lot of things that I have learned, and maybe we'll go from there. But the reason why I wanted to make the video was I really want to know how much I weigh. And in less than 2 weeks, I have to go for my pre-surgery physical, which is, again, where this ties into my blog. At midnight tonight, no longer am I at 5 weeks away. I'm 4 weeks and 6 days, in 3 minutes or whatever it is. So that, for the last week, I've been carrying around this big 5, like, the women that carry the numbers between fight rounds. Well, tonight after tonight, it ding, 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 it's 4 weeks. And so I have my pre-surgery appointment in less than 2 weeks now. And so that's why I need to know what my weight is. And so, not to get too in detail, but, when I wake up in the morning around 6:30, that's usually when I weigh myself. And I do a little bit of business in the bathroom about 2 hours later, and I always wonder, like, what do I weigh now? And I weigh myself, and it's different. I weigh more than I did when I first got up. So, again, they say weigh yourself at the same time every day. You realize you're going to have fluctuations, all that happy horseshit. But I want to know, like, I want to get the stuff out of me. And so I made sure tonight at like my last salad was like at 6 o'clock. Normally I would eat an extra salad. Today I cut out the last salad of the day, and I cut out a salad this morning. I also cut back on my the portions of fruit that I eat in the morning because I need to lose like 2.5 more pounds, you know. And I only have a week and 3 or 4 days to do that, so I gotta jumpstart my system a little bit. Let me get my cat up here. And so I need to do something. And I know if I start exercising, I'm gonna gain weight, body muscle mass, and that's not what I want, So, that's kind of why I've cut back, but I also need to get the stuff that's in the system, in the tubes, out, and so that's kind of why I stopped eating early. But I've also stopped drinking. I've been nursing this cup of coffee for like 2 hours now. Normally I'm drinking tea to flush out my system, and so, that's kind of a concern, again, as I make this video and I'm hungry and whatever else. And I could complain, but I think people get tired of you complaining, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you just exercise more?" In good nature, they make suggestions, but I know what I need to do. So, really, that's just about it. Just in some ways it's easy now because it's just a matter of waiting. It's just a waiting game. Don't do anything stupid type thing. At the same time, you're like, okay, come on, time. Come on. Come on. I would never wish my life away, but I have some free time during the day, and I think about the future and what things are going to be like, and it's like, okay, come on, I'm ready. I'm ready. I want it. And we'll see if that holds true. At the grocery store, I guess I must have looked like I was lost or I needed something, and a really handsome guy, he turned to me and he said, "Can I help you find something?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you." And internally, I'm looking at him afterwards and I'm going, "Yeah, in 3 months, you can do something to me." So that's going on. A little bit of needy thing. And then I guess one more ramble and then I'll shut up for the night. It's so weird I have a number of ingrown hairs, and this is going to get really graphic, so if you're not interested in that, you can turn it off. But getting electrolysis down below, the skin, the pubic area, to me reminds me of like goose flesh when you have goosebumps, or if you ever cook a turkey and you're basting it, you're putting butter or oil on it. That's exactly what it feels like, because the hairs have been zapped and the scabs have formed over where the pocket was of the hair follicle. And so it's just this really weird, like alien landscape is the best way I can describe it. And I've been trying to get some of the hairs that are ingrown out, and it hurts, but not in a, not like in your top lip way. But I found myself yesterday, pulling and twisting, and I got in front of the mirror and I looked just to check the progress of the electrolysis and where she's done, and I just had to laugh at myself, like, I've looked at my own genitals more in the last 3 months than I did in years. And maybe because I didn't like them before, and I'm not saying I necessarily like them now, but they're so alien. It's such an alien thing. Um, it doesn't fit in with this body anymore. It doesn't fit in with this. I used to say on Sesame Street, which one of these things is not like the other? Which one of these? And it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so alien. It's so, I'm not going to say unnatural, but it just does not belong there, And I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it would be bad if it did, and you'd be like, oh, well, maybe I'm making a mistake. And it's just so weird. And mentally, I find myself, I'm not going to say, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. I'm not aroused by myself, but I think about what it would be like to be with a man and to have my hands on their thing, and try to please them in that way or to be fully functional, which is well, that's another Lieutenant Commander Data thing, isn't it? Naked Now, him and Tasha Yar go and have sex, and he's like, I'm fully functional, Yeah, he's got 3 speed. Oh, golly. It's also the line from, what is it? Heavy Metal, the movie, with the little animated movie where the robot and the blonde, and she's like, are you Jewish? She's like, oh, they. He's like, don't feel bad. Most women feel guilty over mechanical manipulation or something. Anyway, boy, I'm really falling apart here. But yeah, you begin to wonder what it would be like, and to be, like I said, in my case, a couple hours from now, 4 weeks and 6 days, to be so close to experiencing it, and you wonder what it's like, and you look at yourself and you're like, there's a scene in the movie Bachelor Party, one of Tom Hanks' early movies, where the Debbie's mom, they're talking about, at one point she had a penis in her hand, and she's sitting there going, I had it in my hand, she's like, Mom, stop that. She's like, it was so big. And it's to be in that point, so yeah, interesting. All right, well, I've rambled on long enough. I need to do something else. I'm thinking about food, and if I think about food long enough, I'll eat something, and I don't want to do that. So I think Baby Boo in here and I'll sign off. Oh, she's going to give me, are you going to give me a massage? No? So on that note, I will wish you all good night and good luck and all that wonderful stuff. Usually I say be the best version of yourself that you want to be, and I do believe in that. The last couple of days I've done a lot of reading about gender, as if I didn't know it already, and just how much we define gender based on a common consensus, if that makes any sense. And I realize we can't say that everything is individualized, but that's the truth, isn't it? If you ask 100 people, you'll definitely get a majority and a minority, but I don't know. That's a whole other topic for a whole other time, I suppose. But anyway, good night, and until next time, I'll say good luck.